So hardest part about parenting is knowing if you're doing it right? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Does it keep you up at night?
No.
No?
Not at all.
It's really cool, this Whoop. Bert's had, obviously been wearing them for years, and I was like, I don't want that thing on my wrist. I don't know, it's so bulky.
I know, whenever I saw his, I was like, ugh, it's too much. You have too many things on your wrist. He'd have like the Garmin, the Whoop, and then his real watch.
Uh-huh.
It's a lot.
It's too much. But this one, when I got this color, I got a white one first. And I actually liked the white.
Yeah.
No, I liked it.
Yeah.
But I didn't wear any jewelry with it. I just wore it. Huh. And then when I got this one,
where'd you get that? Amazon?
They sent it to me.
Oh.
Just for, actually, I think it was in that pile downstairs that now just has the pink and the aqua.
The pink and the aqua?
The aqua. Do you want an aqua one?
I don't think it's aqua. I think it's navy.
Well, it
Arctic?
says. Oh, did it say Arctic? I thought it said aqua.
I think it said Arctic.
Same. Who knows? It's blue. I bet it's blue.
It has to be in the blue family.
It's got to be blue.
I was like, I'm good with that.
Yeah,
I'm better
maybe
with
not
black, actually.
It's white. It's Arctic. Maybe white.
Oh, it could be.
Because I got a white one out of the pile. Because when they gave me one, they just gave me the Whoop and then an extra box. So I didn't know what color the extra box was, and it was
you
white.
Scored that.
And then I can't find the black one, my original one. I can't find it. I have no idea what happened to my black one. So
I find myself checking my phone constantly on podcasts, and it's so gross.
You do?
I got to get rid of it.
It's
I
hard,
only respond if it's the kids.
I'm the same. The only thing I respond to is the kids too. One of my kids is here. The other one's at Malibu Creek, like jumping off a rock into the ocean. Don't tell your dad.
My dad or her dad?
Her dad knows.
Oh, I was going to say.
Your dad does not know. And we'll just keep that quiet.
No.
We'll just keep that a secret. I'm so proud of your dad for working out, right?
No.
Aren't you so proud of him?
I really am. He's doing a lot too.
Yes.
I mean, rowing?
Mm-hmm. He's rowing. He's on the treadmill. I wonder if he's doing any weights. Because when we talked about, when we were in Florida, we were talking to him about just light weightlifting. And then Bert bought him that box, that squat box, like the thing you used, the black box that he turned on different sides.
Yes.
We bought them one of those so that he could start squatting. So you start.
That's the box you were talking about.
That's the box. So when you're older, you turn it like tall.
High.
So that you're squatting literally like 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch.
Oh,
and
okay.
And then you flop it over.
It's going to make a world of a difference for him.
I think so. If he'll use it. I don't know. He's only said his cardio in our text thread, right?
Yes, but he said something to me about 2 weeks ago when he had first started. He's like, I just feel stronger. It's the weights are making me feel stronger. He's got that same gene Bert has.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have it.
What do you mean?
No, I do and I don't. I don't have that self-starting. Like, if I'm not meeting a trainer, it's not like I'm going in.
You're going to do it by yourself?
I will, but it's something I like. It has to be something I like. I enjoy being on the treadmill, but I would never go in and be like, let's just jump on the assault bike. Like, that would never.
No.
I'm not that intense.
Well, Bert doesn't do that either.
Well, that's good to know.
He puts a food show, diners, drive-ins and dives, or David Chang's cooking show, or like Noodles in Asia or something crazy, and just walks. Usually now, I mean, he used to run a lot, but now he just puts treadmill on and walks.
Can we talk about how weird that is?
That he eats food while walking? Yeah.
Hopefully he's not eating on the treadmill.
No, he's not eating on
I was like, that is really gross. That's almost counterproductive.
I wonder if it releases the same serotonin as eating.
Yeah. He'd always turn that on when we were working out. And I was like, this is so gross. First of all, it's like 8 a.m. It's like watching mukbang that early. Like, people are chewing. I'm just like, why do you want to watch this?
Why do you want to watch TV while working out?
No.
At all.
I don't.
I don't either. I don't want to watch anything.
And he's like, let me put on closed captioning. I'm like, if you have the time to read it, you're not doing the right workout, buddy.
I know, right?
Yeah.
He's so funny with his workout and his, I know what I'm doing. Mine is so good.
I like our new workout.
Yeah.
It's good.
It's amazing. Mikkel is amazing. He's an amazing trainer.
He really is.
So I'm glad you started doing Drop Squad. I'm going to fold you in when Sandy gets back if you still want to do it.
Let's see if Sandy accepts me.
She will.
Yeah, she will.
She will totally. She's a more the merrier kind of girl.
Okay, I'm going to get you into trampoline class this week.
I'm going to go.
You're going to love, well, I don't know. You are a tough nut to crack.
You think? Why?
I don't know.
I think I'm super easy.
With new things, I don't think you are. Sometimes you're just like, yeah, I didn't like that.
Oh, I usually don't like things at the very beginning.
Okay, good to know.
I usually don't like people or things.
What a treat.
I know. Sandy and I laugh about this all the time because when I first met her and I gave her the up down and was like, I'm not giving you the time of day. And she was the first person that I heard tell me that. I don't know. Other people may have said you're real tough in the beginning, but the first person I heard it from was her years later, where she was like, "You are not warm in the beginning. Like the first time I met you, you were kind of a bitch." And then,
oh, she said that about you, but you felt that about her.
I didn't know who I was like, who the hell is she?
Yeah.
I don't understand her. But then I started watching myself after that when I meet new people, and she's right. She's right. My first instinct is, who are you? What do you want? What are you about? I think I'm better now because I've been watching it. You know, I've been watching myself react that way and going, don't do that. You know, don't do that. Remain open.
You're incapable of like that bullshit filter.
It's not great.
It's hard for you.
Yeah.
I mean, if you had it, you'd be a pit viper in the grass. That's the only reason I'm in the grass.
So we should talk about our pit viperness because I think it's really funny. I think it's really funny now. I didn't think it was funny in the beginning.
No,
it wasn't. So when I felt like we've never actually really talked about this much. When I first came in the family, I felt like I was very disruptive. Like I disrupted the family, not because I did anything.
No, Georgia disrupted the family.
Wrong. I guess you're right.
It was Georgia.
Okay.
But you guys were a package deal.
Yes.
So
you're right. I take it back. It was Georgia.
It was Georgia.
I didn't really think about that. I always thought it was me.
No, you weren't at all. You were just an innocent bystander. You were the vessel. She was the one.
Do you remember going to dinner at Lowry's when we told you guys we were pregnant?
Yes. I'll never forget standing at that bar and we're like, what are you guys going to do? And you're like, well, we're here to celebrate.
Yeah, right? Do you remember what your sister said?
No.
Your sister and my dad had almost the same reaction. My dad said to me, well, your life's over. You just ruined your life. And I was like, oh. Of course,
what?
An hour later, practically, he was like, okay, this is good.
Yeah.
But it just was so out of the blue. And Annie's reaction was, I did not need this right now. This is not what I need right now. And Bert and I were like, well,
I don't remember what I said.
I think you were watching the table.
I was just like, no,
like
you didn't. We weren't at the table yet.
Oh, I thought we were at the table.
No, we were not at the
Were we at the bar?
We were at the bar.
Because Bert couldn't wait.
Yeah.
Till we were at the table.
Yeah. We were at the bar. And I was like, oh my God.
Because Annie immediately said, I did not need this right now.
And your dad's like, your life is over.
And my dad had because we told obviously our parents before we told you guys.
What were my parents' reactions?
They
over the moon.
Were so excited.
Oh, of course.
Your mother screamed. I could actually visualize them jumping up and down through the phone. They were so excited. My dad had basically, you ruined your life. Your life is over. And then Annie said, I did not need this right now. I did not need this right now. She was so upset that I was like, I'm not even sure how to move forward with dinner. Like, it's hard to be like.
You're like, oh, great.
So how's work?
I was just in town visiting.
You were from SMU.
Yeah.
So you were what, 21, 22?
Yeah, because I ordered a drink.
Crazy.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. And then I guess Georgia was the disruptor.
Oh, Georgia was total. You know what? And I look back and I'm like, why did I have such a hard time with that shift in focus?
I wonder why.
Isn't that weird?
I don't think it's weird.
It's not weird.
I don't think it's weird. I don't think any of it was weird. I think it was just rocky.
It was rocky.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember there are certain moments of us living on Detroit that I remember distinctly.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
What are those
distinctly?
Moments?
I remember being really upset during one holiday. Mm-hmm. And you and I walked back to you guys were in the 2-story at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, I feel so bad for you. I'm so sorry. Yeah. You're like, I know what it's like to need your mom's attention.
Yeah.
And you were crying and I was crying. We were sitting at your kitchen table.
Oh.
And then we went back and it was totally fine.
Huh.
But it is interesting. I always had Dad's attention.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I think everyone does.
I remember an incident. It may have been the same holiday where I don't know what was going on. I tried to stay quiet. My motto in your family has been mouth shut, nose clean for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Just keep your mouth shut, keep your nose clean. It's not my family.
It's easier now, though.
It's easier now.
Much easier.
But in the beginning,
it was rough.
I tried really hard to just keep my mouth shut, nose clean in the dynamics of the family. Like to not talk to, Annie about you or you about, you know what I mean? I didn't want to do that. I'm sure I did sometimes, but my general motto was mouth shut, nose clean. But your mom and Bert were talking shit about you and the struggle you were having in this moment of having Georgia.
Are we talking about the time in Tampa?
No. This was,
go ahead.
I remember this so clearly.
The Tampa trip. Go ahead.
I was sitting, your mother was sitting in one of the chairs. The 2 green chairs were underneath the big windows and the couch was over here.
Yes. Yeah.
And your mom was sitting in one of those chairs and your mom and Bert were talking shit about you to each other and you were on the phone and your mom didn't know she left the phone on.
Oh, I remember that.
Remember that? And
she's an idiot.
Kottie? And as soon as I could hear you talking to her, you were talking really loud. I don't know what you said. She was like, well, I'm leaving, and just got up and went back down to your apartment. And then shortly after that, she called me one day and she goes, I think we need a little bit of a shift. I said, okay. She said, I think you need to take care of your daughters and I need to take care of mine. And I went, okay. I don't know what that means, but okay.
Sure. You're like, I thought we were doing that.
I thought we were already there.
Okay, so I continue doing what I'm doing.
So let me get this straight.
So you need a shift.
Yes. I think maybe she needs,
Yeah.
I think that's what she was saying was basically, if you see a shift in me, this is what's going on.
Yeah.
But I was like, okay.
I look back now and I genuinely, I can't even tap into it. I don't know why it was such a struggle.
Well, you were the baby.
Yeah, but I was like partying. I remember them coming into town and being like, oh, now I have to quit smoking my cigarettes for 2 weeks.
Mm.
It's not like I was super needy with them.
Yeah.
In a weird way. I wasn't. So I look back on that and I'm like, why was it like that?
Well, I wonder if it had nothing to do with them and more to do with where you were in your life.
Or in the family.
Or in the family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I noticed what was funny when we had Ted, I noticed the same thing with Mike's brother, Nick.
Really?
Uh-huh.
That he started like being like, hey,
at a
hold
much
on.
later age too.
Huh.
Yeah. And I would say something to Mike and their mom of like, listen, you don't understand. It might seem crazy to you, but it's very real.
Mhm.
Like he really is struggling, It's a whole shift in the family that just happened to him. Like ours, we kind of prepared for, we chose, we have a kid now.
Mm-hmm.
There's, the pros and cons with what we chose to do. It was our choice, but he was just an innocent bystander that's being directly affected by it. And, it might sound crazy that he still needs you, but he does. You don't just devote all your attention to your grandkids, even though it's the most tempting option.
Right.
You don't assume your adult kids need you in that sense.
Right.
But yeah, I can relate to him on a very real level because of that. And I see it still happening.
Yeah.
It's wild.
When do you think it stopped happening for you? Because let me just say.
When Isla came along.
When Isla came?
Yeah. Isn't that weird?
I think you're right. I don't
Isla
remember.
came along, it was like there was a balance. And Isla wasn't super needy on everyone.
Mm-hmm.
She was very focused and kind of particular. And I bonded with Isla. Like right off the bat.
Yes, you did.
Where I'd go, if I came into the room, she'd go, and she wanted me.
Yes.
And that's why I went, oh. Georgia was more of like, she loved everyone. She'd go to anyone. She was easy,
She was easy. She was a cuddler, Georgia.
Yeah.
And so she would fold into whoever was holding her. Nana, Papa, Annie, anybody.
There was something empowering about Isla because she was difficult and she was like, it was Isla. She was difficult. So when you got in her zone and you could like kind of in a weird way handle her, it was empowering. You're like, oh, I'm her person. Just give her to me.
Yes.
So when Isla came along, I think that shifted where I didn't feel that competitiveness with Georgia anymore.
Right.
So crazy.
It was more like it made everything kind of cohesive.
Yeah, it just fell into place.
Yeah.
Everyone had their place. We all just settled in.
Right.
And it's wild. The girls never felt that with Teddy, at least that I know of.
No, they didn't feel that with Teddy
Ever.
at all.
With
No.
Teddy or Lola.
No, they didn't. They
No?
never had that. But also, they were older. And
They were older. Georgia's always been kind of nurturing where she embraces that.
Mhm.
I think more so now, Teddy and Lola are just kind of a pain sometimes.
I don't know.
In the sweetest way possible.
Georgia was asking if they could come swim the other night, and we were doing something else.
Yeah.
And I was like, we can't do that tonight.
Like,
but
I
we
feel
do.
guilty sometimes bringing him over because I'm like, ugh, they consume all they want are you and Bert's attention. Like, they leech onto you guys. And I'm like I was telling them on the way to your house the other night, I was like, listen, Ted, you can't just walk in and ask Bert to throw balls to you. Like, he's got 2 kids. He's like, they don't want him to throw balls to them. I was like, I know, but that's not the point. He's like, well, then what's the point? I was like, you can't just go in and snag someone's dad. And he's like, I don't get it. And he's like, okay, fine, I'll ask. And I was like, fine, ask, but give him space. If Georgia and Isla are down, it's Isla's birthday.
Yeah.
I was trying to be
read the
gentle
room.
with that.
Yeah. Read the room. Teach them how to read the room.
And then you get the girls down there and you're like, they don't give a shit.
They don't.
They really don't.
They're so inclusive. And also part of it, I think, is that they grew up. We really intentionally raised them with 3 other families.
Yeah.
And all of those parents are almost, not quite, but almost equal parents.
Yeah.
So to have Bert and Tom were the 2 dads who were in the pool and making the water slide and doing the crazy stuff. So I think they're used to sharing their dad.
Yeah, I guess so.
6 other kids. It's kind of normal for them. That's really not out of their wheelhouse. When you and Sam came over the other night for swimming and stuff with Dom and your kids, I was like, this was our every single weekend, Friday night, Saturday night,
so refreshing.
And all day Sunday. We just barbecued and threw kids in a pool.
So fun.
And most of the time it was Bert and Tom in the pool and everybody else, we all had our roles.
Yeah.
Sandy always cooked because she's such a great cook. Sandy, Bert, and Tom would cook, and Kathy and I would clean. And
there you go.
I'd bring a side, Kathy'd bring a side, but they'd do all the cooking, and then they'd throw the kids in the pool, and every once in a while, all of us would be in the pool. It was just super fun. I don't think our kids have any kind of, I know from what Bert has said, the way you guys grew up was very kind of, you had friends, obviously, but it wasn't like the campers. It wasn't like every single weekend, all weekend long with people.
I think that's kind of new, though, in a weird way.
That's the way I grew up. Exactly.
Yours was mostly family, though.
No, my dad had several, he had 2 roommates that had kids. And then we had a group of friends with their kids that just threw in also. So yes, it was family, but it was a little more than that. And it was always a lot of people. So
yeah, we did not have that growing up.
No, I did all the time. From the time I was born, that was the way everything
I think it's
always
now
was.
it's like I saw online, mom math. It gets easier the more moms you pull in.
Mm-hmm.
If you have 1-to-1 with kids,
Mm-hmm.
it's easier than just being 1-to-1 with your own.
Oh,
you know what
totally,
I mean?
yes.
It's so much easier.
Yes.
But what's funny with my friends is that I have 2 friends who the parents, the parent of contact.
Yes.
They're the dads.
Mm.
So
How
that's
fun.
a little. It's good and bad because when we all hang out, I feel like they have no problem being make a cocktail, sit in the pool by themselves. Where I go, oh wait, should I go check on? It's like one dad manning all the kids.
Right.
I'm like, oh, that sucks.
Well, some people like that.
But some people, and he loves it. Where I go, I'm not going to be sensitive towards this. I need to just.
Yeah.
But then it also forces Mike into. When all the dads are doing it and moms aren't participating, he jumps into it too. So it's nice in that sense.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also weird for me to be like the 2 dads in me.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
Where I'm like, oh, this is my role over here.
My 2 dads.
I was like, these families are progressive and I'm still stuck in the 50s. I was like, supper's ready.
What? Supper's ready. I don't know. I think it doesn't matter whoever.
Now it doesn't.
No, it doesn't matter at all. It's fun when you just get to.
It's so much easier. Weekends are so much easier when you have other families around you where you can divide and conquer.
Yep.
Even though you're doing the same shit.
It's so much easier.
Ugh.
Just the food of it.
Yeah.
You know, kids eat better when they're eating with other kids. You know, they'll eat like everybody else eats instead of like, I don't want that and too much of this and I want the ice cream first.
Yeah.
And when they get in that little pack, they all just kind of do right. You know?
Well, I've started doing your snack trays.
Oh, swim up snacks?
Swim up snacks?
Uh-huh. That's what we call them.
They don't touch my shit.
They don't?
No.
They don't do swim up snacks?
I'd make it, but they're not like.
How funny.
I know. And then I was trying to remember what you put on it. And I was like, why do mine suck?
What'd you put in them?
Okay. Well, I think the last one actually did suck. It was like Ritz crackers. Good.
I had that.
Home run. Yep. Grapes.
Had that.
Sliced cucumbers.
I didn't have that.
Kind of sucks.
I had carrots. Baby carrots.
Oh.
Same thing.
What was the fourth
and I had
thing?
Blueberries.
I didn't do that.
Blueberries, grapes, carrots. Oh, I always take like string cheese and chop it in bite size.
Oh, that's a good idea.
That was an Isla move every time.
That's a good idea.
And I always put them in really cute dishes.
I don't have cute dishes.
That was a big game changer for me. Cute, festive, fun, or kitschy dishes. And for whatever reason.
It's like eye candy.
Yes. And they're
like,
ooh, the Spider-Man cup? I mean, that.
Yeah.
You know, that's what.
Isn't that funny?
It's such a.
Okay, I need to invest.
Here he comes. He's gonna walk in here. I guarantee you. You just wait. I told him I was podcasting you today, and he goes, "Wait, Kottie, what are you talking about? 12 o'clock?
Watch, pretend we're talking about him."
He's getting an IV though, maybe.
You know how bad I want to be in here, right?
We saved you a seat.
Shut up.
No, we're talking. Do you want to know something?
What?
This whole podcast, we're talking about things that you do that bother us.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are.
It's so good.
It is so good. We're still on the first one.
We were just talking about the drive yesterday where we were talking about something serious. You go, hold on one second. Hold on. After the third time you did it, Kottie was like, how the fuck do you live with this? How do you live with this?
I was like, it's rude. It's rude.
It's so rude.
What are you doing?
I'm going to Rams practice tomorrow.
I know. Rams practice tomorrow.
Daisy and Georgia to go with me.
Are you?
You want to go?
That'll be fun. Maybe.
Okay.
Thursday,
yeah.
Ted wanted me to put it out there and make it abundantly clear that he would go with you guys. If you guys ever want to go to a Dodgers game, he wants to go alone with you guys.
Oh.
He does not want me and Mike.
Oh, interesting.
So he was like, I'll go alone with them.
I'll take him.
If it interferes with, he was like, if you can't make it for work, I want to go alone. I was like, all right, I'll let them know.
I'll take him
anytime coming up.
Okay, babe. Bye.
Rams practice sounds awful.
I don't want to go.
It's so hot.
I bet it is. But he'll make them go. It'll be fun to go
The
just
gear,
as a family.
I wouldn't be able to put on all that gear.
Oh, you mean for them? I thought you meant it to be hot for us. I think it'd still be hot for us.
Oh, yeah. For everyone involved.
Yeah. It's going to be hot.
Pass.
Yeah. I'm not.
I can't even sit in the bleachers for Little League right now.
Yeah. It is hot here right now. It's awful.
I don't even have big legs and I'm getting chafing rashes.
No, you don't have big legs.
No, I don't. And I'm like, how am I getting chafing rashes? Like welts. I have to put triple paste on it every night.
Oh,
like,
my God.
Another one. That's why I'm wearing shorts today. I'm like, I can't.
Do you need a chub rub? Do you know what a chub rub is?
Or is that his ball lotion?
No, no.
Okay.
So when we went to Vietnam, Kat bought these things called chub rubs. They're like things you stick to your inner thigh so they slide against each other and you don't chafe.
Oh.
They're called chub rubs.
Have you ever gotten a chafing rash?
No.
Oh, it's bad.
But your legs don't rub together.
My legs don't. It's on the side of my underwear. Like
on the side of your underwear. How much do your hips move when you walk? Your panties chafe you?
Can you not say pant? It's such a gross word. Can you say undies or something else? Underwear like an adult?
What's wrong with panties?
You sound like a pervert when you say panties.
Why?
It's just so weird.
Panties?
I told Mike he can't say it about Lola either.
But underwear is too weird. Underwear could be anything. Panties are for women.
Exactly. It's gender fluid. Everyone wears underwear.
I call Bert's underwear panties.
Ew.
Just
what underwear is he wearing?
He doesn't wear any.
He doesn't.
But I say you have your panties on, honey.
Your panties.
I wonder where did panties even come? Pantaloons, I guess. Panties.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And then panties because pantaloons were long. That's probably the origin of that word.
Can you believe that's a trend now? Chicks wearing bloomers.
Daisy had them on last night. at my house. She had on this little bitty white top and these white lace bloomers.
It's
and
like she's a
cowboy
maiden.
boots.
I'm like,
Yeah.
what are you wearing?
It was, well, it's just like wearing a pair of panties that are just all ruffles all over.
You're killing me.
That's what it was. And then Isla bought a pair.
What?
Yeah, and they're white.
She's not wearing that shit.
I hope I get to see it if she does.
I do too. I'm dying to know what her legs look like.
Same. I haven't seen her legs in 100 years. She still wears board shorts to swim. She wears a teeny tiny bikini top.
She wears a bikini top?
Uh-huh.
That's impressive.
She wears a bikini top. She's tiny. Tiny, but she has my...
What is her deal with board shorts? What is she hiding?
I think she's hiding her
The
ass.
dunk?
Yeah, she has a big ass like me. It's not big,
No.
but proportionately,
my God,
she's
that's what
got an
you
ass. Tell me about it.
Squeeze
It's,
all my fat down.
it's like a freaking BBL.
Ring me out.
It's a natural BBL she has.
Bring it on.
Same. So she was like, yeah, I have a problem with bathing suits. I'm an extra small top and a
Oh,
medium
mew,
bottom.
mew. What a jerk.
I'm a medium bottom.
It just sucks. I'm so tiny.
And her little flat belly. She's got no belly. No belly. It's
Isn't that
all
funny. Remember her like when she was like covered in mosquito bites and sweatshirts, and now I feel like the change is coming. It's
I'm
weird.
interested to see what she shifts into. When,
She's going to be a different person when she goes to college.
I think she is.
I do too.
I'm excited. I love the person she is now.
I do too.
But I'm excited for whatever her future is because she's such a her own person and she's such a kind of unique thinker.
She's rad.
She really is rad. She's really cool. So is Georgia, by the
Georgia
way.
is too.
They're I think, not to brag, but my whole purpose in parenting was to ask the question, who are you? Not to say you are this,
Yeah.
but who are you? And then to try and parent that. Like you clearly have an athlete.
Yeah.
Teddy is pure athleticism. So you have to foster that without making it unhealthy, you know?
Yeah.
And the same with Lola. Who is she? She's too young. You don't know yet.
Yeah. She's board shorts, though.
You think she's going to be board shorts?
She already is.
Yeah, but Isla wasn't that. Remember?
Yeah.
Isla was all dresses and cowboy boots.
Oh, yeah.
Roughly, remember those tank top dresses with ruffles?
Really? Because that's what Lola's wearing to school today. Hot pink cowboy boots.
Yeah.
Chiffon, like tulle everywhere, and then tight upper top.
That was Isla. And then she got to 4th grade and it went opposite. She just got baggy. Everything was baggy from 4th
That'll be
grade on.
Lola. There's so much about Lola I look at and I go, like, she would always prefer to swim in boy shorts
Yeah.
and one of her like rash guards.
Yeah, Isla wore rash
That's
guards
all she
forever.
wants to wear.
Yeah, Isla's a rash
Now,
guard.
the only time she will just settle on a bathing suit, like a girl's bathing suit, is if we go to your house and that's all she's got.
Yeah.
Or she's like, fine, I'll do it.
Yeah.
But at home, it's always Nike shorts and a rash guard.
You remember what my kids wore? Long sleeve to the shorts that zipped up. It was like a swim suit.
Oh, yes.
A suit. It was like a sun suit. That's what they loved them.
A predator guard.
Yes,
It's like,
right. They loved it though.
Yeah.
I would buy them at Costco every year. They loved them. I mean, they had bikinis and stuff too. They had no interest.
No, Lola will not
No.
get into a bikini.
No.
She goes, you can see my belly button. I go, then pull it down. She goes, oh, great. Now you see my nipples. And I'm like, then don't wear it.
Isla was naked till she was 4. Do you remember that Nikki time?
Yeah.
Nikki time. Every time she was naked from
She
like
was
4
naked
p.m.
all
on.
the time.
Yeah. Always naked. That's
I don't have
changed.
one. That's Ted. Always naked.
So I know I talk about Omaha Steaks a lot. I talk about them a lot because I order them a lot. My aunt had a birthday and my dad had a birthday and they're one day apart. And I ordered them both a huge assortment of things from Omaha Steaks because they both like to cook and they both like steak. So it's just the perfect fit for them. But Omaha Steaks is a lot more than just steak. They also have one skillet meals. They have a lot of sides. My dad really likes the twice baked potatoes. They have mac and cheese. They have fish. They have seafood. They have shrimp dishes. They have just shrimp by itself. They have bread, tons of vegetables. And my dad and my aunt both really like their chocolate cream pie. My dad loves their cheesecake assortment. There's just so much you can buy at Omaha Steaks. Celebrate more than 100 years of the world's best steak experience with 50% off site-wide during their anniversary sale. Order today at omahasteaks.com and get an extra $30 off with promo code WIFE at checkout. Famously fork tender filet mignon, handcrafted and extra aged to maximize tenderness. You'll enjoy big savings on premium pork and chicken, scrumptious sides, and of course, decadent desserts. 5 generations of family-owned expertise means uncompromising quality you can trust. Every steak and every entree is flash frozen, vacuum sealed, and ready to prepare whenever you are. All backed by their unconditional 100% money-back guarantee. Omaha Steaks equals the world's best beef. Naturally aged for ultimate in tenderness, juiciness, and flavor. Order today at omahasteaks.com and get an extra $30 off with promo code WIFE at checkout. That's omahasteaks.com, promo code WIFE. Minimum purchase may apply.
He painted his toenails blue this morning.
Did
I was
he?
like, do him and Bert share
A brain.
a brain?
Yeah, maybe.
How do you expect me to sleep like this? I have a tournament. I'm expected to win a ring this weekend.
He's 6.
I can't.
He's
6.
6. It's going to be
He is
intense.
6. And then go into the dugout.
But was
after
Bert,
having-
I mean, I
don't
know Bert
remember.
and Teddy were alike, but I wonder
Well,
if he was
obviously.
like this. To hear Bert recount his childhood,
Oh,
he was, from what he told me, his parents obviously identified pretty early that it was very athletic
mhm.
and that he had a lot of energy. And so he says your parents decided to just keep him busy all the time. So if he wasn't in tennis camp, he was playing baseball. He swam. He ran track.
I guess he really did. My dad was always with him somewhere.
Yeah.
Always.
But I think that from what Bert says, your parents were like, "Oh, this kid's got to be physically active all the time," or I don't know what
he
the
did.
or
Bert
else
ruled
part
the
is.
roost.
but
They were harder on him, but he
It was his house.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, different for me because I only had like a couple year overlap with the two of them.
Yeah.
Where I remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was his house. And we kind of all just fell into place and followed.
Yeah.
Not that anyone, it's not like we had other things to do.
It's an interesting question to ponder. I think about it a lot because the Annie I know is naturally not, I don't even know how to say it. He's
Compliant?
so out there and she's naturally not so out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So was she not so out there because he was so out there, or is that just how she was wired?
No,
how
I
she
think
came?
that's just her wiring. She's always kind of been like that.
So then it's just kind of a perfect pair.
Yeah.
Because
That's why they always were the perfect pair growing up.
right.
Because it's like she didn't really, well, not to say she didn't care, but she was just kind of like, sure, I'll go.
She just laid
That's how
back
she is
that
now. Where
way.
she's like, sure,
yeah,
I'll
super
go with
laid
you.
back.
You're like, who wants to do that with me?
Yeah,
But she was like, I'll go.
yeah.
Yeah, she's very, compliance the wrong word.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean.
Easy, sort of.
Easygoing,
sort of.
She's totally
Yeah.
easygoing.
Except for her anxiety, but the easygoing.
Yeah, that.
but the easygoing.
But the easygoing. I
Yeah.
mean, Bert is definitely not like that.
Nah,
There
really?
has to be an angle for him.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
Whereas I can find the medium of going, nah, it's a kind thing to do.
yeah.
I mean, not that he's not kind, but you know what I mean? There
Yeah.
has to be an angle for him to he'll go, but you don't want him going if he's not excited about it. Because then you're going to
Yes.
get that version. You go, oh, fuck, I'd rather have just gone by myself.
Yeah. No, I'm embarrassed.
Yeah. Like,
That's-
no, I
yeah.
don't want this.
He gets really shitty if he's not into it sometimes.
Yeah, right?
When I go, you're showing your ass.
You can't
Just go home."
even like fake it.
Yeah.
That's where I go, oh, man.
I wonder if I think I have that a little bit too, but in different ways. Where I don't have a filter.
You have it differently.
Yeah, I have it differently. But I have the same kind of like, yeah, I'm not doing this thing.
Yeah.
I can fake it better. But
Yes.
sometimes I'm like,
Well, no, you have like a moral compass that goes, this is the right thing to do.
yes.
It means a lot to her.
Yeah.
Let's be excited,
yeah.
you know,
Uh-huh.
where that can take over and override your lack of bullshit.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes, I do. Good way of putting it. What was the hardest thing about becoming a parent? What do you think was the hardest thing for
Oh,
you?
fuck. I still think I'm an awful one.
You're not. So
I know,
stop
that's
saying
what Clemencia said to me today.
that. No, you're not. Here's the key to parenting. The biggest, one of the most important things said to me by my therapist when I had young kids, she said, as a parent, you make deposits. All you need to worry about is, are you making more deposits than withdrawals? If you are making more deposits than withdrawals,
Yeah, I guess so.
then you're doing a good job. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Every single child is going to come out feeling or believing they're damaged in some way. Every person is like, I suffered. And, it's all relative. It's their own experience.
Yeah.
And all you can do is try and make more deposits than withdrawals. And Bert and I have said that practically the entire time we've been parents. So when he has those moments or I have those moments where I'm really sucking as a parent or I say the wrong thing, my challenges with parenting have been with Isla and Bert's have been with Georgia. So I guess in some ways that's good because then I have a teammate when I'm struggling and he has a teammate when he's struggling. And we just keep saying that to ourselves. Even if this is a shitty moment in parenting, you've made more deposits than withdrawals. So at the end of the day, this will all straighten out, and it has.
Yeah. I mean, I think I'm there. It's hard to gauge with a kid like Ted because of the drama. You know what I mean?
Sort of, but not really, because he's a good kid. It's not kid. Like he's like
kind of. I'm just dealing with them, just fighting all the time and teasing, and he laughs when he teases her, and I'm like, and then if you reprimand him in just the smallest way, it's like, just compare Bert. Put Bert in a 6-year-old body where he's like, oh yeah, I'm just a little bitch, I guess. And you're like, wait, hold on, do not turn this back around on me.
Yes,
you're being a dick.
Yeah.
I'm trying to,
and that's it.
And that's it.
Yeah. Don't be a dick.
But yeah, I guess so. It's just exhausting though.
Parenting kids is exhausting.
It's exhausting.
Nobody ever said it was easy. It's not easy. It's really, really hard. And the hardest part about it is exactly what you're talking about is, am I fucking this up? Yeah. Like, am I doing this wrong? Am I making more withdrawals than deposits? Am I not hard enough? Am I too hard? It's just, you just have to kind of trust yourself and go back to your basic principles.
Yeah.
The basic principles in our house was no defaming of character ever for any circumstance ever. You can't make fun of anybody in a mean way. There's no mean. You can't be mean to each other. You can bust balls, that's fine. But once it goes into mean, it's over. No hitting.
Oh, we're fucked.
No biting.
All these rules.
You just have to keep it. Whatever your rules are, they don't have to be mine.
I know, but I'm saying those are pretty good rules to stand by. And we're like, those are in the wind.
What do you think your rules are?
I mean, I don't think I have a lot. And I think that's my problem. Like, today I told Ted if he keeps teasing Lola, because he squishes her arm real hard. Like if he wants to do a sneak attack on her, he'll grab her arm and go like this. And she's like, ah!
Yeah.
And I was like, he hates staying after school. So I always threaten him with that.
Yeah.
I'm like, you keep doing this, you'll stay after school today. And you'll stay there with all the kids, which it's awesome. So it's not, but I know he hates it. So I threaten him with that. And then in the car, our nanny Clemencia was talking to him and said, I guess he was still teasing Lola in the car. And she's like, you know what your mom said, you will stay after school. She's like, and he said to her, he was like, she always says that kind of stuff.
Oh.
I'm not staying after school.
Oh.
So I don't cash the checks.
I see.
Where my mom, she cashed the checks.
She did?
Hell yeah. Where I was like, I don't know if I could commit to that. Like when we'd be at dinner, and Bert and Annie remember this, where she's like, you don't stop messing around, you'll sit in the car for the remainder of the dinner.
Yeah.
She would take us to the car and just sit there for an hour.
She would sit there with you?
Oh, yeah. Just stare straight forward.
Wow.
No phones in the car, nothing. And they would finish dinner and they'd come out. It happened to all of us. And I was like, oh, this sucks.
Yeah. Well, sometimes you do have to do that.
You got to cash checks and I don't.
And if they figure out that you don't, they won't listen to you. You have to.
He doesn't listen to me.
That's like that time when Isla was getting out of bed. She was only 18 months old and she climbed out of her crib. And so I had to put her in the room with Georgia and she would get up and walk into the living room for like 2.5 hours for 3 months. And I kept saying to Bert, if I let her win this battle, she will know that she can outlast me.
Yeah.
I am an adult.
Yeah.
Like I have to outlast her.
Yeah.
I'd start crying at like 6 p.m. Going,
7:30 you just dread it.
7:30's coming. I was going 2 hours of just walking here. I don't have a life. And I was working full time then.
Yeah.
in the apartment building. But I was like, if I don't freaking break her, so to speak,
Yeah.
I'm fucked. And I did. Now, still, she's the one still that I have a really hard time finding her currency. Really hard.
Because you guys have so much in common, I think.
Yes, we do.
Yeah. That's why Bert and Georgia fight so much.
Yes, because they're
They're little clones.
similar.
Yeah.
Yes. I know everybody thinks Isla's just like Bert, and she definitely has a lot of Bert tendencies. She definitely has anxiety, and I don't have it. But
At the core, though, that's why they get along so well. Because she is you.
because she is me, yes.
And
then
she
same with Georgia.
calms his energy and vice versa.
Yep. And same,
Um,
Georgia and I are super. Well, Georgia and I have no problems. We never had any problems.
No, but Georgia goes at Bert the same way Isla
Yes.
goes at you.
Yes.
Like horns first. And you're like, whoa,
Why are we doing this?
why are we doing this?
Yes, it's so true, isn't it?
You know?
Has that happened in your house yet? Who's Teddy like? Besides Uncle Bert.
It's weird. He's a lot like Bert that you go, you don't want to break his spirit.
Uh-huh.
Because there's something so creative and fun about him
Mm-hmm.
that he takes himself so seriously.
Mm-hmm.
And he's so invested in the weirdest shit.
Mm-hmm.
But he's got a lot of Mike. But he's such like a deep feeler that you're just like, why does it have to be so dramatic every day? The drama, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But you can tell he's just going through something, I guess. But he's a lot
Right.
like Mike in the sense where he's very orderly,
Mm.
where I'm not. You know what
Right.
I mean? Like Mike has a routine. If you put the keys in the drawer every day, you wouldn't lose them.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, well, if my brain were wired that way, technically I wouldn't be the same person and we wouldn't be here. So
yeah, right.
like,
Exactly.
you're welcome. I made that drawer. I'm not going to put my shit in it though. Like I throw it up in the air and kiss it to the wind.
Say, I'll pick that up sometime later.
Yeah. Like I just put a tile on it and I just make a sound if I need it. So I found my routine. You find yours.
Right.
But I don't know. Ted I'm having a hard time with because I don't know how to parent him. Really don't. And then he goes to school and they're like, the direct statement out of the teacher's mouth. He is a model student.
Oh.
He is calm. He listens. He never loses energy throughout the day. They're like, he must be sleeping like a rock at home. I'm like, well, he sleeps in our room. So of course he is. Like, you know, they're like, he's a model student.
Mm.
He's kind. He's inclusive. He is so focused when he tries to sit down to do something. He outpaces everyone in stamina with a project.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I do not see that. And I'm like, maybe he lets it all out at home. I don't know. But it's tough. And I go, fuck, what am I doing wrong?
They usually do let it all hang out
know?
at home because it's the safe place. They can just let their hair down. What are you doing wrong? I don't know what you're doing
You
wrong. I don't think you're doing anything
I
wrong.
don't think I'm doing anything wrong per se. I wish there was a more effective way to just get through to him.
Right.
Because yelling doesn't do shit.
No.
He laughs. And I know it's a nervous laugh,
Uh-huh.
but he laughs.
Right.
And then the only thing, this is so messed up, and I've stopped this. I found myself doing the only way to get through to him. I'll be like, my heart is racing.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, my heart's racing, Ted. I can't have a racing heart. And then he panics.
Yeah.
And it's like I scratch his anxiety to calm him down.
Yeah.
And then he's nervously checking my watch all night.
Right.
And I go,
Mm.
fuck, if anything does happen to me, I don't want this kid to think he was the reason.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what really messes with my head. I'm like, that tactic is done.
Yeah, that's
'Cause
good
that
that's
is-
done. You shouldn't
That
do
is really backwards.
No.
And just because it has the effect I need,
Yeah.
it's not right.
You're right. It's probably because you can't find his currency.
I cannot. That's it. I
So-
can't find his currency.
So you have this. Well, I can tell you this. Having a large group of friends who have kids now that are teenagers, figuring out a way that mic drop parenting that you just described. My heart is racing is a mic drop. He can see it. It's factual,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh my God, I'm divorcing. I'm leaving. I'm not saying you do that.
yeah, no.
But there are parents in our circle that we watch parent kids or fight in front of their kids with those kind of mic drop things that were undeniable. Like, well, then I'm leaving or I'm divorcing or then, get out of the house kind of
Yeah.
talk
Yeah.
is so dysfunctional and maladaptive
yes.
that it opens a door for other maladaptive behavior. In my experience, if you teach them even how to be in a marriage or a relationship in this really maladaptive way, then that's what they look for as solutions.
Yeah.
So you just have to figure out when you're doing maladaptive stuff to stop yourself from doing it, at least in front of them, and then figure out how to do it in some adaptive way. I know with Isla was such a hitter. And I used to say to your mother, do I need to start spanking her? Like, I don't know what to do because she's not hitting anybody. She's just constantly hitting. I can't send her to preschool hitting everybody. And your mom kept saying, what you do is you remain calm, you get eye level with her, and you just say the same words over and over. We don't hit in our family. I don't hit you, and you don't hit other people. There's no hitting. And I was like, do I punish her? And she was like, if punishment doesn't, like timeout doesn't work, you just have to keep the same exact phrase. Because I'm the adult. I'm not even the parent or the child. I'm just an adult.
Yeah.
Speaking to another person like they're an adult.
Yeah.
There's no hitting in this house. I don't hit you.
Yeah.
You don't hit other people. No one hits you. There's no hitting in this house.
Period. End.
4 fucking years I said that to that child. And she finally stopped hitting. And you know, when she would hit Georgia, I would impress upon her why that was wrong. I would comfort Georgia and say, this is not okay. And I would say to Georgia, it's not okay that she did that. I'm not good with that. And have Georgia watch me say there's no hitting in this family. Yeah. But it was really
did she try to flail and be like, no.
Yes.
Like that's where I go, like physically holding him, like he'll be, he freaks out. And I go, what? Now what? Never gotten down to his level.
Oh, your mom always said to get to his level and look him eye to eye.
That's a good idea.
Look her eye to eye and to sit down. And when Isla would get really upset like that, I would pull up a stool for her and I'd say, have a seat and let's talk when you're ready. Whenever you're ready. Take your time.
Yeah.
And let her get herself together and then say it to her again. There's no hitting in this family. I don't hit you. The same exact verbiage. Your mom was like, just the same exact statement every single time. Never wavers. So it took longer, but she finally stopped doing it. And I've done that with her. That's the only way I could parent her. With Georgia, I could say, hey, if you don't do that, I'm going to take your American Girl doll for the day. And she'd be like, oh, no. And then she would stop, whatever. I had tons of currency with Georgia. I had no currency with Isla. No ice cream for a week. Okay.
Yeah.
It didn't matter. I could take every toy away from her and she did not care.
Yeah, that's how Ted is.
So I just had to do what your mom said.
Yeah.
Same exact words over and over. I had to know exactly what my deal breakers were. And after reading so many books too, once kids, they write, I guess I read books about them as toddlers, but I didn't find the raising a spirited child until it was kind of too late.
I still haven't read that. I need to read it.
It's a good read because it helps you understand where they're coming from with all the spiritedness and how to kind of frame it. I don't really remember that book, but I remember reading this book called Untangled about raising teenage girls. And one of the things she said in that book helped me a lot, which was you have to choose your real deal breakers.
Yeah.
And stick with those. You can kind of, quote, advise on other things.
Yeah.
But deal breakers in our house was like, there's no lying. You do not lie. However, when they're a teenager, they naturally lie. It's actually something they do to try and gain autonomy. Mm-hmm. But then you have to readjust that and go, okay, which lies are the deal
Here's what
breaker?
we don't lie about.
Yes. You don't lie about your safety, your health, where you are, and what you're doing is what I need to know. Mm-hmm. And other than that, we'll just kind of like shuffle that one off to the side and know that that's you trying to be yourself, like your own person. But that helped me a lot to start thinking about when to kind of be less rigid with my rigid rules. The rules that were really rigid when they were younger. No lying ever under any circumstances. Ever are you lying when you were, up through middle school or something like that. And then you start going, then am I going to lock them in the dungeon? They'll never leave.
I know.
So what is a deal breaker and what isn't?
I need to get a handle on it now. I need to read that book. Because I don't want to miss the boat with Ted where he's just walking all over me.
It's hard. I don't know what your future path is. I can't say that. But I know in other parents who have kids that they had a hard time finding currency with are having a real hard time in their teenage years.
Yeah.
Because the teenager just won't listen to anything.
No.
Won't comply with anything. They'll just run their own race. And you go, and that's not only is there a ton of safety issues.
I don't want
stuff
that for them.
Exactly.
I'm not even concerned about my hardships at that point. I don't want it for them.
You know what it seems like to me is that they don't feel like, for whatever reason, that their family is like cohesive. And I think sometimes looking back, boundaries keep a family all in the same fences, right? You set these fences for the whole family, and then everyone stays in that fence. Like Bert and I didn't eat ice cream before we ate our meal.
Yeah.
So that was the fence for everybody. You ate a healthy meal and then you get ice cream, you know, whatever, fill in the blank for your fucking boundary. But you see what I mean?
Yeah.
And so we all are following the same rules. So then as they grow, well, kind of, we don't lie either. You don't see us lying either. Our deal breakers were pretty low. When they were little, I had a lot more. Like I was super strict. This is one of my reasons I was a pit viper, because I was super strict about bedtime. I was like, nope, my kids go to bed at 7:30. If you guys want to go to dinner at 7, have so much fun. My kids are going to bed at 7:30. Yeah. I was super strict about it when they were really little, because I thought it's too confusing to them to be like, well, we don't really know when we go to bed. And we go to bed maybe when we want to go to bed, or when you say, but you said so today, but not yesterday. And who's saying so tomorrow? And I just thought, to me, that would be too confusing.
It's so funny because one of my friends is having a really hard time with her husband because of that.
Because of the willy-nilliness or the strictness?
The militant, like, you're in bed by 7:30 and they can't stay out with friends. They can't do anything because of that. And she's like, this isn't a life I want to live. You know, and I'm like, I think at a certain age.
Yeah, totally, at a certain age.
So a certain age. Like, I think when they get to 7, 8.
Totally.
They don't need to be in bed by 7:30.
No.
You know, but when they're Lola's age, when they're 3, 4.
Yep.
When they're in that range. When they're in school, like kindergarten and plus, fair game. Maybe not even kindergarten. But, you know, like, I think there's a certain age range where it is too confusing for them. And
100%.
You know what the next day is going to look like.
Yes. It's a shit show.
It's a fucking shit show.
Yes. It's a shit show when you don't get... It's all about routine, and the stupid rules that surround those routines is what I believe makes it easier when they're older to parent, because they knew if bedtime was 7:30, it was 7:30.
Yeah.
Now, our kids stopped for their bedtime, like super strict bedtime, when they were probably, I don't know, like 8 maybe, somewhere
Ted's
in there.
getting in that range where I'm like, he can stay up late. I don't.
Yeah. I mean, late was relative. I was like 10 o'clock was like the cutoff.
Oh,
you know.
Oh, yeah.
9,
like,
10 o'clock. But 7:30
9:30 is like,
yeah.
That's late.
We still had a cutoff.
Yeah.
But it wasn't 7:30. You know, 7:30 was.
And you also had kids that the next day they were kind of a mess. It totally messed.
Total mess.
Like Ted, he'll sleep in 2 hours. If he stays up 2 hours, he sleeps in. He makes up for it. He's like an adult.
No, my kids did not do that.
Oh, I know what it's going to look like. He's fine to sleep in tomorrow. It's totally fine.
No.
Lola's kind of the same way.
No, my kids did not do that. My kids were
you know what's funny? A lot of people's
6.
kids don't.
No, my kids were up
they
by 6.
They can go to bed by midnight. They're still going to wake up at 5:30.
My kids got up 6 o'clock at least.
Oh, really?
5. I like woke up at 5:30 till she was like, I don't know, 7 every day. Which
that's awful.
It was awful. I was so sleep deprived. By the time they started sleeping in the day and all night, I was like, it took me like 6 months, and I was like, I'm a totally different person because I hadn't slept. I'm a night owl. And
that's awful.
5:30. Yeah, so that was why I was like, nope.
There's certain mornings that he has tutoring at like 7:30 before school. I was like, I have to cancel. I'm sorry, he's still asleep.
Yeah.
He'll sleep until like 8 o'clock.
Yeah. They need the sleep.
Yeah, they do. It's more important.
They need it.
All right, I'm going to read that book. I got to get something going on.
I think you're doing a great job, Kottie.
Well, thanks. You know, at the end of the day,
kid.
I've got more love than discipline, so it's a quality problem to have, but I'm afraid of the reaction I have to deal with if I enforce the discipline, so I avoid the discipline. It's a vicious cycle.
But, you know, they respect you.
They don't respect. Ted does not respect me.
Well, then that's a problem, Kottie. If you feel like Ted doesn't respect you, you have he has to. Respect doesn't mean oppression. It doesn't mean like you will respect me, but to think of you kindly and to not want to, not disappoint you, but to want to be part of your world. Really, as that's kind of the way I looked at it. Is I wanted to set a world where they felt it had integrity and honor, and where I was a person of my word. So if I said you're in timeout for 2 minutes, we set the timer and watched it click down because factually you were in timeout for 2 minutes. Bert was not as good at that. He'd be like 2 minutes and 30 seconds in, he'd go, "It's out," and you're like, but they know the difference.
Yeah,
they're way
now
smarter
they know they
than
can
you
walk
think.
around.
Yes. So I think I just wanted everything to be factual. And like where they couldn't think that I was screwing with them or fucking with them ever. Because I grew up with someone who just screwed
I
and
never
fucked
did
with
a
me all the
timeout.
time. What's that?
I've never done a timeout.
You haven't?
No, did you do timeouts?
Oh, God, yes.
Where do you put them?
We had a stool that they sat on for a little bit. They just sit in time. And it was like a minute, 2 minutes. It was not like you're in there for 15 minutes. I would make them sit in a timeout for a couple minutes, and then I would have a conversation with them before they were allowed to go back to doing whatever they wanted to do. So that's probably why they hate when I have conversations with them now. But that's what I would do. I'd put them in timeout. 2 minutes. Here's the timer. We're going to talk about this in 2 minutes. Don't get off the stool. If you get off the stool, it adds another minute. You choose the behavior, you choose the consequence. That was my freaking mantra. Choose the behavior, choose the consequence. Here's the consequence. If you get off that stool, you add another minute. So choose to get off the stool, you're choosing another minute. It's your choice. And I just kept adding minute, and then they wouldn't do it. It'd take like 1 or 2 times of testing me. And then they'd be like, okay, 2 minutes. I'll take the 2 minutes.
I know. Clemencia this morning was like, you need to follow through. She's like, just leave him for 30 minutes after school.
Yeah.
Just knowing that he is entering the after school. She's like, he needs a consequence.
He needs to know.
He doesn't know what a consequence is yet.
Right.
And
But choose the behavior, choose the consequence is a really easy phrase that you can say out loud where they go, oh, okay, she means it. If you'll show them an actual consequence, then they know, okay, this is for real. But then I would sit down and talk to them about whatever they were in timeout for, and I would try to approach them with curiosity. Why do you think that was okay? How would that feel if that happened to you? What do you think that made her feel like?
Yeah.
What did you think
the kind
you would
way
accomplish?
to do it? In a weird way.
Well, it is because you're asking them. So if you say you don't do that, like when I said we don't hit in the family, it was a we. It wasn't you don't hit in the family. It was we. So when you kind of give them the opportunity to come up with the answer. Isla had a really hard time coming up with the answer. So with her, I would say, are you feeling frustrated or are you feeling angry? And she would say, frustrated. Okay. Can you tell me what she did that made you feel frustrated? And because she had a harder time articulating the why of what she did. So I'd have to kind of help her, but I never said, you're frustrated. And this is why you're frustrated, because now you've taken away her own sense of self.
Yeah.
To ask the question, why do you think you wanted to do that? What did you think? How do you think that would make the other person feel? When they start answering those questions, then they can start kind of taking accountability because they've come up with the answer themselves. Mm-hmm. So it seems manipulative, but at the same time, it teaches them how to think. It teaches them how to think for themselves, right? That's how you show them how to say, what did I do wrong here? I
might try this.
Try it if you want.
I'm going to. I think I am. Because I'll start with the timeout and I'll go, listen, if you can't control your body, if you can't stop teasing her, then you're going to have to stay after school. That's the consequence to you teasing Lola.
Right.
But I mean, did your kids tease each other?
Isla was a hitter. Yeah, they did tease each other.
Yeah, they're not physical with each other. It'll be like he gets jealous of all the attention she gets and he takes away whatever she's playing with. And
that's pretty normal.
I think it's pretty normal.
It's pretty freaking normal.
Yeah. I guess so.
It's normal, but it doesn't mean you don't address it.
I know.
But you just don't make it bigger than what it is. That's the thing, too. You see a behavior.
That's the thing, too.
You can't make it bigger than what it is, Because the thing is, I was talking to somebody about this the other day. Georgia, I was talking to Georgia about this the other day. When she broke her jaw, the first thing I thought of was my reaction is all that matters to her.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to be the litmus test of how big a deal this is or not. And so you have to read the situation and go, I'm going to be more angry than I actually am so that you hear me. Or I'm going to be less angry. So you just have to kind of read the room constantly and see, well, what is my goal here? And what do they really need to see?
Mm-hmm.
So when Georgia broke her jaw, I was like, I'm going to be, everything is fine. We are totally fine here. Ooh, this looks like it really hurts. Does it hurt? Okay, we're fine. And then, of course, I called Annie and I was like, get down here right now. So she has broken her teeth. But I knew it was really serious.
And Annie couldn't stop crying.
No. And she couldn't stop crying. It was really upsetting. Bert couldn't stop crying. But I was like, if she sees me crying, she's going to think this is really, really bad.
Yeah.
So I have to just be the one that's her barometer. You know, the same with him. Hey, man, we don't do that. And maybe if reacting strongly isn't working, try reacting differently.
Yeah.
With the same message.
Yeah. Yeah. Reacting, the yelling, the reacting strong, the big reactions that they get out of me, it does not work.
And it's not working. It's not working.
So I think calm and just factual, just facts. Like you do this, this happens.
Well, I read this great book when I was parenting too. It was a psychology book. It wasn't even about parenting. It was about relationships. And it said in every relationship, you are one of three things. You're either a child, a parent, or an adult. And the only healthy place to live is adult. So a parent, it tells someone what to do, can be oppressive, is the boss.
Mm-hmm.
A child is the victim and is lost and is powerless. The adult is just balanced and just says, kind of, here's what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the way it's going to work.
Yeah.
And doesn't get into this emotional reactive place. They stay in a more balanced kind of fact-based place. And then when you try it, for me anyway, when I would think, I'm just going to stay an adult here. And obviously I didn't do it always. Sometimes I was a parent and sometimes I was a victim with my own kids, a child. But I tried to mostly stay the adult.
Yeah.
And then if you get used to kind of having that in your brain, it helps, or helped me with parenting, because I go, well, they can say or do whatever and I'm not going to react to it because I'm being an adult.
Yeah.
I'm a grown up.
Yeah.
I'm not a parent where you should do what I say because I say
because
so.
of this. Yeah.
And I'm not going to be a child. Well, you're making my heart race.
I know. That's
what you're
childlike behavior.
Yes. So.
And then I force him into the adult role of him going, I'm so sorry.
Not the
I
adult
love you
role,
so much.
the parent role.
The parent role. He's like, oh no, what have I done?
So you switch
like,
the dynamic on him, where really you should be in the middle. You should be the adult who goes, we can't behave like this because it's not good for you and it's not good for me. So let's choose something different, you know?
Yeah.
They're smart enough. You can talk to them like that and they'll understand it. And they'll act like they won't understand it because they don't want to.
Yeah. I'm taking a stab at it. In other news, Lola gave up her pacifier.
What?
Did you ever think that would happen?
Nope.
Didn't even have to cut it.
That's amazing.
I just lost it. Who keeps calling me constantly?
You just lost it and then she accepted the loss?
She just accepted the loss.
So should I get rid of the 4 I have in my bottom drawer at my house?
You have 4?
I have 4.
Which ones?
I don't know. Every time I find them at my house, I just throw them in that bottom drawer.
Aw.
I'll set them aside.
Just keep them there. She deserves one last suck.
If she finds them in the bottom drawer.
It's okay.
Oh,
she's not 4 yet.
I know Alice sucked her thumb till she was 4. Couldn't get rid of her thumb.
Yeah.
Couldn't do that.
No, that's okay.
It is.
Oh, that'll be like a fun little tweet when she comes over.
She's such a big girl. She's gotten taller.
I know.
She got really tall.
She's a hoot.
So hardest part about parenting is knowing if you're doing it right. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yeah. Does it keep you up at night?
No.
No?
Not at all. Does it keep other people up at night?
What keeps you up at night? Anything?
Nothing.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. Sayonara, bitches.
Don't worry about nothing, huh?
Nope.
That's good. That's really a gift.
Really?
Yes, so many people stay up at night and worry about stuff.
Oh, no.
No.
Not me.
No.
If I wake up in the middle of the night, I'll start thinking of things. But no. I have cut back on my antidepressant, trying to go off of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I get little flashes of, where I'm like, oof, didn't miss this. Like I was we listen to sleep sounds when we go to sleep. It's like piano sleep or whatever on my phone. Then I'm in the car and it automatically connects when I'm driving. And it's Stand By Me and it's the piano version. And I'm like, this would be nice at someone's funeral. And I'm like, why am I thinking about this? And I was like, oh God, Bert's funeral. I'm going to have to go to Bert's funeral one day. And I'm like, oh, why am I thinking about this?
Right.
Because it sends those thoughts back into your brain. Where I keep thinking about death again. And I'm like, I didn't miss this at all.
Is that what your anxiety did?
It's all my anxiety is.
Is it about death?
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think that is? Is it just a chemical thing? Is it something like a trauma response or just how you wired?
I think from what I told my therapist, my CBT therapist, he thinks it was trauma from when I was a kid.
Like
specific. Being with someone and they found out their sister died suddenly. And I was like, maybe Teddy's age. It was one of Bert's roommates, girlfriends.
Oh.
And I was the only one with her when she found out.
Oh.
And that is like scarred into my brain.
Right.
She was hit in a car.
Oh my God.
And it was like nighttime. I was alone with her and I was like, oh my God. And I watched her process it. And I was freaked out for Bert or Annie to leave or drive anywhere for like a few months after that.
Oh, wow.
I don't know.
How old were you? Like 11?
I was in 4th grade, yeah.
That's not 11. That's 9.
Yeah. I was in 4th grade.
You were in Florida State University at 9?
Mm-hmm. I was in 4th grade.
Wait, your parents let you go to FSU with Bert and Annie when you were 9? That's young.
I was a mess at home.
You were?
Wait a minute. No, I might have been in 5th grade.
Which is 10.
Okay. It might have been 5th because Annie was there too. Bert left for college when I was in 4th. And that was like a traumatic year for me. And then I think Annie left a year or two after. Yeah, I wasn't that old. Definitely wasn't that old.
No, that's pretty young.
I don't know why I have that death fear. I wonder why.
Well, that sounds like why.
Could have been one of the reasons.
Yeah.
But yeah, so all those start coming back and I'm like, I was good being numb for a bit. Numb from this at least.
Well, I mean, there's no doubt that there's anxiety in your bloodline, right? Your dad has it. Your brother and your sister both have it. You have it. George and Isla have it. It all looks a little different.
Mm-hmm.
None of your anxieties look the same, but they're all definitely anxiety stuff.
The only difference is I'm the only one that has medicated it.
Yes.
So in a weird way, I wish I'd never known what it would be like not to have it. I got a taste of not having it.
I see what you mean.
You know what I mean?
I do, sort of. I mean, I know what you mean.
I got a taste. I got a taste of what it must feel like to be you or Mike.
Right.
For a couple years.
Yeah.
And I go, wait, why do I want to return to this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, why? Hold on. This was really nice, actually.
So why do you want to return?
I don't. Those are my conclusions I'm coming up with.
Oh, that you may want to go back on antidepressants?
I'm not fully off of it, but I'm getting glimpses, you know?
Yeah.
And, you know, my psychiatrist's like, well, wait and see. It might get better. It might get worse. And I was like, oh, those are not dice I'm willing to roll next month.
I don't
I
want
have a few things planned. I was going to go sober next month.
Right?
Not if I'm crying to piano eulogy music in the car.
Yeah.
Thinking of like, who's going to speak? That person's not a good talker.
But so he
thought
that it was a good idea that you come off of them?
No.
No?
No. I mean, they're like, the choice is yours if you want to try. You can
Yeah.
always come back. And I thought, because I was so good, you know?
Mhm.
I'm in such a good place lately that I'm like, let's try this.
Right.
I was like, oh, wait. Let's not try this.
When I started podcasting, an online store was the furthest thing from my mind. Now I'm selling shirts, hoodies, and it's so easy, all because I use Shopify. Shopify is the global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business, from the launch your online shop stage to the first real life store stage, all the way to the did we just hit 1 million orders stage? Shopify is there to help you grow. Whether you're selling scented soap or offering outdoor outfits, Shopify helps you sell everywhere. From their all-in-one e-commerce platform to their in-person POS system, wherever and whatever you're selling, Shopify's got you covered. Shopify helps you turn browsers into buyers with the internet's best converting checkout, 36% better on average compared to other leading commerce platforms, and sell more with less effort thanks to Shopify Magic, your AI-powered all-star. Shopify powers 10% of all e-commerce in the U.S., and Shopify is the global force behind Allbirds, Rothy's, and Brooklinen, and millions of other entrepreneurs of every size across 175 countries. Plus, Shopify's award-winning help is there to support your success every step of the way. Because businesses that grow with Shopify. We've been using Shopify for years. And what I like about Shopify is not only is it an excellent platform to use, it's easy to track your sales and kind of look at the behind the scenes parts of sales so you can help maximize your business. It's a great platform for selling anything in the e-commerce world like we do. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/wife, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/wife now to grow your business, no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/wife. So what were you doing before you were on antidepressants to manage your anxiety?
I just lived with it.
You just white knuckle through it?
Some days were good, some days were bad. Not all days were bad.
Right.
You know? It's interesting. I look at like Bert, where he can go high and low real quick. And I go, yeah, that's not something. I don't have that anymore.
You mean on the antidepressants?
Yeah.
You don't. Did you have that before?
Yeah.
You did.
And there's some part of that you miss and then another you don't.
Yeah.
But you do miss the highs and lows. Not
Sure.
so much the lows, but the highs. You're
I
kind of
can see
like,
that.
you're kind of sliding. You're like, I'm good. But it's so funny, like Mike's patience with the kids, I always tell him, he's like, it is crushing. This is so hard. And he's vocal about it. I'm like, don't say that.
Yeah.
How does that make them feel?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Pull your shit together.
Yeah.
And then I'm starting to feel that way. I talked to my psychiatrist about it yesterday. I go, the feeling I have of like, it's crushing. It's so hard. My patience is shot. And I go, whoa, wait a minute. I didn't feel that way on antidepressants. It almost like stabilized it a little bit where it went, I got this, you deal with that.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm working on right now, where I'm like, do I really want to go off this? I don't think I don't. Maybe now's not the time.
Right.
You know, I think there's time and the place, but.
Well, you get to decide.
I get to decide.
Yeah. You get to see if you like it. If you don't, you go back on.
Yeah.
I don't think
What
there's
does it
anything
matter?
wrong. It does not fucking matter. It's such a stigma I can't even believe it's a stigma.
It's not anymore, really.
I hope not.
It's
in
not.
certain parts of the U.S., I think. It still is.
Do you think it still is?
Yeah. I think in my hometown, people are like, oh, no, that's not good. But I think, you know what? If you were diabetic, you'd be on insulin.
Yeah.
It's, to me, that's what the anxiety, your family's anxiety that I experience of someone who doesn't have anxiety is not something I would enjoy at all.
You don't want to.
At all. So if someone said, hey, you can take this, and the highs are less high and the lows are less low.
Fine.
But overall, you're feeling pretty good. I'd be like, fucking yes. It's the same as being a diabetic and trying to really manage it with food. You can do that, but it's really, really hard.
It's really, really hard.
And so do you want to spend
that's a
your
good way
life
to look at it.
just being so meticulous with your food, or do you want to eat like a regular person and manage your legitimate health problem with insulin? It's the same thing, in my opinion.
Yeah,
It's no different. So
it's true. I was so good for so long that I was like, oh, I got this.
Yeah.
You know, I got my exercising in place. I've got my food plan. I am cooking on all four burners. Let's move forward.
Yeah.
And while I'm at it, let's cut this little thing in half.
Yeah.
And then it was like, she's back.
Oh, she's back.
So we'll see.
How much longer are you going to give it? No.
Maybe a day.
A day?
I think I'm good.
One more day.
You know what? I think I'm good. I'm not willing to wait 2 months to see if it's. I don't think I'm going to stabilize to a point where I'm like, that, you know, that generalized low-lying anxiety is gone.
Well, the thing is,
it's never going to be gone. Not in our bloodline.
Unfortunately, it's going to be challenging for it to ever be gone in your bloodline. But what I find interesting is I know I've had, over the last year of kind of growing into running this business, I've had certain things take up bandwidth in my brain that I don't want in my brain.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm resentful that those thoughts stole space.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes. 100%.
Yeah, my space
Yes.
was stolen for this stupid thing
Yeah.
that I couldn't get off my brain.
Mhm.
And it was on my brain for very good reason. But it shouldn't have been there at all.
Yeah.
It shouldn't have existed in my world at all.
Yep.
And I'm resentful that it took a year of space in my brain that I could have been building this business or working on my podcast or thinking about my kids in a different way or spending time with friends in a different way. I just robbed
It's
myself.
a space suck. You're like, ugh.
Yes. Why?
Why?
And I would imagine if I had an anxiety or something like mine was situational and mine can go away with situations changing. But if I had something that made it not situational, it was about my wiring. I think I would be very frustrated with it just stealing parts of my productivity.
Yeah.
Or my
your general well-being every day.
Exactly.
Like where I go, you were telling me sometimes you just cry for no reason. You're like, I don't like it. Like I was
in menopause
again, where I was driving and I was like, as much as I was like, I want to feel the highs and lows again. And then I felt like I was like, I could cry. And I was like, I don't want to feel like this midday. Like, this is awful. I have so much shit to do. I do not have time to sit here and cry and think of eulogies right now. It's the space sucking up where I go, no, get out.
Yes.
Get out. And if you don't do it on your own, I'm going to help you.
Yeah, I'm going to get you out.
I'm going to get you out.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that you can enjoy more of the things that you've earned. You've earned this beautiful life.
Yes.
You
and
have
I'm like,
beautiful life.
My life is not hard.
Right.
It's not hard.
No.
You look around and I go, that's fucking hard. And that's hard. And that's hard.
Yes.
Mine's not hard.
Yeah.
It's just, I can't be consumed with that other shit going on that it's not productive for me.
No.
It slows me down and I go, I don't have time for that.
No.
And it feels better this way than do it this way.
I totally agree with you. I think it's loving to want to care for yourself in that way. It's very loving, self-love and self-care to say, you know what, I'm not willing to be robbed of my own well-being because I want to be without this medication. Who cares?
But who cares what? To lose 5 pounds, I'm good.
Is that what, does it cause you to hold on to
most
weight?
of the time, yeah. You get off it and you lose a bunch of weight.
Oh, yeah.
And I go, no. It's the same way I felt with Ozempic. I'm like, no, I'd rather feel good and just focus on it.
Yeah.
I don't want to feel bad
to
get to a goal.
Totally.
I don't want to be crazy to be thin.
Yeah, no,
I'm good. I'd rather be feeling good and just figure out a day. And
And your kids your kids don't know what anxiety is that way. They don't know these highs and lows. I mean, when Bert would come in, when he was on Travel Channel and he was really a lunatic, my kids I could feel them shaky. Does that make sense? They weren't shaking, but I could feel their energy and their energy was nervous.
I feel it now. My energy has shifted in the last week and the kids are wiry now.
Yes.
They don't have my calmness. I don't bring them into the calm.
Right.
I'm bringing them into my childlike behavior of me focusing on feeling better and not feeling wound up. And that makes total sense.
Yeah. I mean, he was all through Travel Channel. They were just a little shaky.
Yeah.
Like cat on a hot tin roof a little bit.
It makes sense. It's like, parents are supposed to be grounding.
Yes. And stable.
And like stable.
Predictable.
And then when one of them goes not off the rails, but when one of them's off kilter, I think the whole family feels it.
100%. They do. The whole family. Because I would be off. I would be trying to watch what his moods were doing so that I could adjust accordingly.
You could counter parent.
Yes.
And like balance out his.
Yes.
IV boy's done.
Is he?
We're
just about to wrap it up.
Oh, perfect.
Did you get your IV?
Can you tell?
Are you okay?
I did 2 bags.
Oh, Jesus.
My eyes are like, I'm like, I did 2 bags. And
Are you going to get on a mic or you just?
Is this mic on, Christian? I did 2 bags and I did an NAD shot and a B12 shot.
Wow.
And, I'm like,
ooh.
I know you can't tell this because you are a grown up, but my favorite story is when you needed your bathroom painted and the app was like,
oh my God. That was awful.
Would you like to hire a female to do this job? And you're like, I would. yes, I would love to employ a woman to this job. And she showed up with one paintbrush and no paint.
Oh my God. When was this?
She was like,
I pretty much paid her like $700 to prime my bathroom.
Oh, wait. I remember this.
She brought one paintbrush and she was like, and I was like, oh my God, I was like, I have a roller. She's like, oh, it's not my technique. And I was like, we're not doing Venetian plaster in
right?
here. She's like, I just can't, it's not settling. I was like, because it needs more than one coat with a 3-inch.
Right.
Oh my God.
And then you're like, get me a man in here immediately. Preferably someone who speaks Spanish and gets it done in a day.
Seriously. And he came in and did it in an hour and a half. He was like, it's good. I did 3 coats.
I remember that now.
Would you like to hire?
It was on TaskRabbit. It's like, you should hire a woman. Be the one that hires a woman. And I was like, yes, I will. Where are your supplies? She's like, in my pocket. I was like, fuck me. Fuck me.
Where are your supplies? In my pocket. You're wearing jeans.
She was wearing her paint jeans.
Oh my God.
And her one paint stick.
Oh.
I'm going to have to go outside for an hour and a half while it dries. I was like, in what world? I have a blow dryer. Let's speed this up. And I'm paying you to sit outside and read poetry while it dries.
That's my favorite story.
That was awful.
That was awful.
That was so fucking awful.
I forgot about that. That's really funny. Well, she could probably paint your new house.
Oh my God, could you imagine?
Start now.
Just
We
awful.
just need a room for her to live in.
Where are your supplies?
In my pocket. See, this is why you do the bullshit conversation about dinner, because it gets you here.
Yes.
Cut to next day. Hola.
Hola, ¿cómo está usted?
Muy
El
bien,
baño.
gracias. ¿Y tú?
Gracias.
Yeah, vámonos.
That's funny.
A few moments later. Bathroom's done.
All right. Well, we should let you get back to your day.
I'm going to go sit outside and sweat.
Are you?
I have to. I have so much fluid in me. My teeth are floating.
Oh my God.
I'm getting IVs every other day for the next 3 weeks.
You shouldn't do that.
And I'm going to.
Every other day? Why?
Oh, you are
You
too.
shouldn't get more than 2 a week max.
I'm getting 3 a week.
Roll those dice.
Why shouldn't you get more than 2 a week?
Any doctor will tell you that.
Yeah.
I just had a doctor tell me.
Oh, the doctor that carried in 2 bags?
Did he have a paintbrush
the one that
in
was
his
like,
pocket?
here, I take Apple Pay?
Did he have a paintbrush in his pocket? I happen to have this one IV.
He's like, your eyes look my eyes
are tearing only because there's so much fluid in me.
He touched the bag under your eye. I go, you could do another bag. One of them just went straight to your eyes.
My farts are coming out with humidity in them.
A little liquid.
Oh my
A
God.
little shart. Thank you, Kottie, for talking to me.
Hey, that was fun.
I feel like it was
nice.
just a hang chat.
It really was.
That's what when I was getting my IV, he goes, "Are they recording this?"
We were.
I said, "Yeah." He goes, "I thought they were just talking." I was like, "That's good podcast."
That's what we do.
really was.
That's what I like, is when we just talk.
Awesome, great episode.
Thanks for the chat.
Thanks.